Hello everyone, this is going to be the second video. In the last video, we have basically talked about the interpretations about the original cover of Tunnel Through the Air. So basically, there is a list which is been given by W.D. Gann, and these books probably were on sale from his side. Let's look at these books. So in total, numerology, we have got 12 books. Astrology, we have got 37 books. And scientific and miscellaneous, we have got 31 books. So in all total, there are 80 books which are been recommended by W.D. Gann. So we need to go through these books one by one. Probably for this, we can have a group which has been formed. So we can contact us on maybe our Telegram channel, or on Telegram, you can contact us, or maybe on WhatsApp also. And probably we'll try to give you more details about the group so that we can discuss about these topics one by one. So if you are interested, you need to know about these books, you need to understand about the topics, you can get in touch with us. Hello everyone, this is going to be the second video. In the last video, we have basically talked about the interpretations about the original cover of Tunnel Through the Air. This is looks like a tunnel. Then we had Roman numerals, which is XLV, and it is 45. So we consider 45 as degree, so which is related to geometry. Next, we have the Mason symbol over here. We also have time and price over here. So we consider that as squaring of time and price, or price times square. We also had something called as pyramid, which is on the back side of the book. So that is related to sacred geometry. And we have this grids over there, which are to do with esoteric and occult part. Now we have all these topics which I have just listed on: tunnel astrology, 45-degree geometry, Mason symbol, price times square. We have pyramid, we have sacred geometry, we have grid. But what do we have to read regarding this? Does W. Gann talk something about this part? Yes, he does. So basically, there is a list which is been given by W.D. Gann, and these books probably were on sale from his side. Let's look at these books. So these books are related to numerology. So there are somewhere around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books which are pertaining to numerology. The next topic is astrology, and there are huge amount of books which are for astrology, and together the number is coming to somewhere around 37. And there are also books on scientific and miscellaneous. Now this is not numerology and this is not even astrology, but other topics, and these books are somewhere around 31 in numbers. So in total, numerology, we have got 12 books. Astrology, we have got 37 books. And scientific and miscellaneous, we have got 31 books. So in all total, there are 80 books which are been recommended by W.D. Gann. So we need to go through these books one by one. Probably for this, we can have a group which has been formed. So we can contact us on maybe our Telegram channel, or on Telegram, you can contact us, or maybe on WhatsApp also. And probably we'll try to give you more details about the group so that we can discuss about these topics one by one. So if you are interested, you need to know about these books, you need to understand about the topics, you can get in touch with us. Now we have this book, The Tunnel Through the Air, or Looking Back from 1940 by W.D. Gann. Let's start with the forward of this book. First is, it is an interesting romance. Second is, it teaches a moral lesson or proves the natural laws laid down in the Bible. Third is, it shows the value of science, foreknowledge, and preparedness. So foreknowledge is one of the words which is already there in the list. Let's go towards that. If I go in Astrological, one of the books is The Science of Foreknowledge, and that is by Sifarial. Now this is the book, The Science of Foreknowledge by Sifarial. So this he has written in 1918. There are various books which are written by Sifarial, and there are the name of these books. Kabbalah of Numbers is one of the best known books. That is from numerology. There are two parts. Law of Values, the Silver Key, is one of the most important books. Dictionary of Astrology. Now, because we know W. Gann in the forward had written about foreknowledge, so we'll talk about the book Sifarial, which is The Science of Foreknowledge. Let's try to read that, maybe at the initial part. The statement of Professor Sir Oliver Lodge, made before the British Association, that is a mathematical session, at Bristol some years ago, was, if once we grasp the idea that the past and future may be actually existing, we can recognize that they may have a controlling influence upon all present action. So he's talking about something which is where past and future. We are not talking about the present, we are talking about the past and future. maybe actually existing. Now, how can this happen? So probably he's talking about something related to the past, and he's also talking about the future. He's also talking about the present. So let's try to discuss more on this part, that is present, past, future. So this is one of the topics that we should be discussing. Further, he says it asserts the obvious that the effect follows and is dependent upon its cause. Now, again, he's talking about something related to effect and cause. Cause and effect, this is again one of the most important thing that we have been trying to know about. Of course, W. Gann has talked about it, where we'll probably try to find about that soon. As we go further, we see that evaluation is impelled by the divine will as expressed in the operation of natural law. Now here we have something called as natural law. Why we are discussing about natural law? If you look at the second part, that is, it teaches a moral lesson and proves the natural laws laid down in the Bible. Now here W. Gann has been talking about natural laws. The science of foreknowledge again talks about natural laws. So maybe this is something interesting for us to understand, because this is something maybe connected in terms of natural laws, and W. Gann has also talked about natural laws. There is something more of in details about natural law. We'll talk about that also. So what we see is the natural law, past, present, future, cause and effect. This is just one part that we took across from the science of foreknowledge. Let's try to see what we are able to discuss maybe further on this part. That is, let's say we are talking about natural law. The tunnel through the air talks about natural law. Second, it teaches a moral lesson and proves the natural laws laid down in Bible. Now, this is where we get the reference about the natural laws in the tunnel through the air. The science of foreknowledge that also talks about natural law. Now, there is one more interesting book that we should be reading about. It is by an author, Ospensky. The name of the book is Tartium Organum. This is the book, Tartium Organum. Tartium Organum is written by Ospensky. This was originally been published in 1912. The best part about Ospensky is this relates is across to Gurdjieff. George Gurdjieff, you must be remembering, we had made almost around a series of 10 to 12 videos about George Gurdjieff, talking about the law of three and law of seven. Law of seven and law of three together has been put across in one symbol, which is called as the anagram. You can search about these videos on our YouTube channel and you'll be able to get more details pertaining to that. We'll put across some links to the videos which are there, and you can go through those videos also. Ospensky did meet across George Gurdjieff, and probably much of his findings are related to George Gurdjieff also. Maybe the topics were very much related, and that's why they got in good touch with each other. Further in the book, reading about the world of causes, let's try to understand that part also. Wishing to understand the noumenal world, we must seek a hidden meaning in everything. At present, we are too deeply rooted in the positivist method with its tendency to seek in everything a visible cause and a visible effect. And this way of positivistic habits makes the understanding of certain ideas extremely difficult. Among other things, it is extremely hard for us to understand the reality of the differences in the numeral words between objects which are similar in our world but which have different functions. Further, the author says over here, these differences are the realities of the numinal world, much more real than all the Maya of our phenomena. We should strive to notice these realities and develop in ourselves the capacity to sense them, because it is precisely in this way, bracket, and only in this way, that we enter into communion with the nominal world or the world of causes. So again, the author is trying to relate something related to causes over here, which guess is important for us. On page number 128, it is written, there are visible and hidden causes of phenomena. There are visible and hidden effects. Again, something about cause, again, something related to effects. In the book Tartium Organium by Ospensky, here he mentions, moreover, our idea of time is composed of the concept of the past, the concept of the present, and the concept of future. The concept of the past and present, although very vague, are uniform, but as regards the future, is a great variety of views. It is essential for us to examine these theories of the future as they exist in the mind of modern man. There are two main theories, that of a predestined future and that of free future. The theory of predestination is argued in the following ways. It is asserted that every future event is the result of a past events and is such as it is and no other, owing to a certain direction of the forces contained in the preceding events. In other words, this means that future events are entirely contained in the preceding ones. And if we were to know the force and direction of all the events which took place before the present moment, that is, if we know all the past, then through this very fact, we would know all the future. And it is true that if we have a thorough knowledge of the present moment in all its detail, we may at times actually forecast the future. Again, we see something which is related to cycles. That is the first part W. Gann has talked about. For cycles, we need to know about the past data, then we'll be able to predict something about the future. And we have something here in terms of past, present, future. That is, future is related to the past. And we have also something called as cause and effect. So there are some causes that we need to know, some of the causes that we are not able to know. And if we know about the causes, probably we'll be also able to know about the future too. There's an entire chapter which has been written by Ospensky, which is to do with the fourth dimension. Here he especially talks about the fourth dimension. Of course, if you want to understand more about this, you can go to the book. This becomes one of the most important part where he talks the fourth dimension as time. Sifarel further says, for the belief that the future exerts an influence on present action to the belief that the future as actually existing with the past and present may be capable of direct study. So again, we are talking about past, present, future together. If we study the Science of Foreknowledge by Sifariel, among all the various forms of occultation, so here we are talking about again occult knowledge. If we go through the book further, we'll see Mr. Henley combines with his practical and material pursuit a strong taste of occultism. So again, Safarel is also talking about occult knowledge, occultism as such. If we come to Ospensky's book, that is Statium Organium, I find a very interesting example of the understanding of the hidden meaning of phenomena in the book, The Occult Story, contained in the letter of a Hindu occultist to the author of the book, A.P. Sinnett. So this book can be read across. So naturally, when we go through these reference books which have been given by W. Gann, we get better knowledge pertaining to the subject. Because W. Gann has said, the tunnel through the air is mysterious and contains a valuable secret clothed in veiled language. He also says that you have to read the book 3 times. And he further says, when you read it the third time, a new light will dawn. You will find the hidden secret, the veiled meaning, and will understand why the Bible says, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. So if you probably try to interpret what has been written over here, will dawn, you will find the veiled meaning and will. So probably you see something is missing over here in this sentence. The veiled meaning and will understand. So probably you or something like that is missing. So probably here the author, W. Gann, has trying to focus something on will, 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 will. So probably he's talking about some kind of will. And if we try to go across through the Science of Foreknowledge, Sifariel's book, we see by the divine will as expressed in the operation of natural law. So again, those are all been interrelated, but only we'll be able to understand when we try to read the reference books and try to interpret things through that. So these are the books which are regarding numerology, astrology, scientific and miscellaneous. So probably we should start reading it. As we go further, we'll try to see some more methods of interpretation of these books, probably see which books are important so that we can go through those books one by one. Now, if you see the books which are there of numerology, there is one author which has written, let's say, for example, this author is there, he has written this. So we have three books of numerology by the same author. Let's say we have Sifarial over here. We have this first book by him, the second book by him. So there are two books again by the same author. If we go further for astrology, try to see that is Raphael. Then we have same author, Raphael. So three books which are there for the same author. We have again Sifarial, one book by Sifarial. Raphael, we again see 1, 2, 3, 4 books which have been written by the same author. Then again we find Sifarial, again Sifarial, again Sifarial, again Sifarial. So probably some of the books are there which are by the same authors. Again Sifarial over here. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 books in astrology over here. And then further we have 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, 9, and 10. 10 books out of these 80 books are of Sifarial. So this becomes an important author for us. Same way as we saw, Balit is one of the important authors where we has got 3 books by him. Sifarial again has this book over here. So probably that 10 and this 2 makes it 12 books. Again, we have L. Edward Jondro, who has worked with W. Gann. So his books are also been given. So probably you can start reading those books. One more important book that I think is The Sequel by William Walter. The cost of the book is $25, which is the highest among these books. If you look at the price of the books, this book is only for $10. The rest of the books are all less than $10. So probably the $10 book is important. Same, we have something about the $5 book. This again is for $5. This is for 10. This is for $5. This book that we have seen, Ospensky, this is again for $5. So probably you can just try to interpret which are the books which are of higher value. It's not necessary that the value of the book would be higher. It is important. We have seen almost 10, 12 books of Sifarial. We have also some Indian authors over here. If you see Yoga Hari Rama, it talks about occult chemistry, yoga system of study. We also have a book of Faith as a Constructive Force by Swami Paramanand. So these are again some important books that you can go through across. So fair enough. This is there for this session. We'll probably meet in the next session again, trying to understand more about W. Gann and trying to interpret more about the tunnel. So this time we have only talked about maybe natural laws. We have talked about the past, present, future part, something related to cause and effect. So as we go further, maybe probably we'll try to discuss about more parts which are there from tunnel through the air and about astrology, Mason symbol, price time, pyramid, that is sacred geometry, esoteric and occult part also one by one. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.